and all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm in.
Bro.
I think I was in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
We start swerving.
In the car, and I'm like, oh shit! And then she's like, ah! And I like pull up to a stop, like boom.
Hey guys, it's Christmas time, and to celebrate, we're giving away 5 red DimesCast tees, like our friend Jaden is wearing.
For a chance to win, go to our Instagram, dimes_yo, and look out for the giveaway post and all the instructions. Good luck and Merry Christmas.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
classic.
Yeah,
That's what we were listening last week.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the DimesCast. Hope everyone's having a great week. We are here with one of our good friends, Maserati. How are you, brother?
Good, my brothers. What up?
Welcome.
We've been trying to get him here for how long? How many did? I think this is the third time lucky.
Yeah.
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky.
I think, I was just telling Emily on the way here, I was like, I've cancelled so many times.
No, I mean, obviously, a couple of times have been pretty complicated, but like, it's great to have you here, man.
Yeah.
Finally.
Nah, solid.
Bro, how you been, man? How you been?
I've been all good.
I know you were saying that you were a little sick today, so man, thank you so much for coming in.
So like that's exactly what I was saying to Emily. I was like, I've cancelled so many times. If I cancel this time, we're done.
We're pulling all the songs. Nah. So, dude, I mean, let's talk about your music. So, we met each other when we were first actually building the studio.
Yeah.
You were in the other room with Matt having a session, and then we had the 6 Degrees meeting, and I think that's when we physically met, basically.
Yeah.
But I've heard of.
I don't think I met.
No, I was
Jaden
later.
wasn't there.
I was a lot later because I wasn't.
Because
at
I
that
remember
first one.
when I first met you, I thought you were just Dimes was you.
Oh, right.
I met you later.
Yeah.
A lot later.
Was it so? It must have been in the recent sessions that we've had.
Yeah, because remember we got that song and got that lyric, and then I was like, oh, who's this? And you're like, oh,
that's
it's Matt.
right.
The first one.
Yeah.
So man, it's obviously we've started this relationship probably in the last year or so.
Yeah.
And I feel like
how when we started today, it was just out of the blue.
Yeah. And I feel like we've known you for ages now. Like it's just one of those things. So man, before that, bro, when we met you, what was music like for you? But like obviously before we met you, because I just heard a heap about you for like a long time, saying that this Maserati guy is just killing it, just crushing the game. So man, what was it like back in the day for when you were sort of coming up in music?
I still feel like I'm coming up in music. When I first started in high school out here, it wasn't when it was when I first really started recording.
Yeah.
But I started recording with my brother when we were at Forest Lake.
Nice.
And there was a few other boys like Dub T.
Yeah.
We started as like a group.
Shout out Dub T.
And it was just like cool to make music back then.
Yeah.
It was just fun. And then it got a bit more serious after school. I linked up with some guys like Zai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of other artists, like local artists. And then it just became like there was some signs where I thought, nah, I can actually like do this seriously.
Yeah.
And then I just interacted with heaps of other people.
Yeah.
Started working more, and then because I've always loved making music. Making music was probably my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And then to be able to like go somewhere with it was just like a bonus.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play any instruments? I know you drum.
Yeah.
But how many instruments can you play?
Nah, I only could play piano, drums. That's about it.
Oh wow!
I've always wanted to play guitar though.
Oh yeah, I think everyone growing up in school wants to play guitar. Hey?
That's like, bro, because you could just take it anywhere.
Yeah.
I remember in high school, bro, everybody used to like have a guitar and be able to play it, and I used to be like, frick, I can't like carry around a piano. Like,
yeah. Just hold it.
So you only get to play it whenever it's there.
Yeah.
But a guitar, like, bro, you can take it anywhere and just jam.
Yeah.
So when in high school was that moment when you're like, I think I'm really interested. And I want to do this as a long term goal or career.
It was actually before I moved here. So I started writing raps when I was like 10.
Yeah.
And like I was playing sport at the same time, but sometimes sport wasn't really, I knew like I didn't really have it to go like as far as I wanted to.
Yeah.
So then when I came to music, every time I would write music, I would think, nah, this is like what my go-to is.
Yeah.
And if I could like take this as far as I can.
Yeah.
it's just like an escape. Like every artist will say that.
Yeah, exactly.
When I knew that music, when it comes down to it, and when you like fail in heaps every other thing except for music, and then I would think, nah, that's like what I want to take on.
Yeah. Was it ever like, were you ever sort of nervous stepping into that? Because obviously, I don't know if you guys know, but this guy was, he used to play footy and he was actually a really, really good footy player back in the day. So obviously, you know, growing up around the boys and playing footy and stuff like that, that's like a really like manly thing to do. But like back in the day, like music was sort of like, you know, it wasn't really seen as like a manly thing to do.
It's funny
either.
you say that because I was just, who was it? I was talking to I think it was my brother. And we were talking about when we first made music, especially in Brisbane, bro, there wasn't many people. I think there was like older guys that were making music in like the hood areas.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, you're right. It was like, it wasn't like a manly thing to do. It wasn't like, in America it was. Like I know a lot of my cousins out there, they're like pumping out tracks all the time since like they were young. Yeah. But over here it was like rarely ever did you, I think Ezra James was like one of the, James and like Ice Fam would, when they dropped their first song, that was like one of the first people I knew that were actually like making music then. Wow. Yeah. And then you have like West Side Mixtape, they're like old school dudes from Brisbane. Yeah. But they were the only, no one was actually like making tracks. Yeah. And you're right, it wasn't like an in thing to do.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, who inspired you to start writing then? If you were so like into footy, obviously. Yeah. Who pushed you into like, oh, maybe I can start writing, or what got you into starting to write?
Well, I started like writing in church. There was like, there was like sometimes where I think, I'm trying to remember the song I remixed. Bro, I remember I did it in church. I can't remember what song it was, but I wrote a rap. I remember writing it on the computer. And then spitting, bro, it's probably the wackest rap. It's like the corniest thing. But I remember when I was like 10 and I wrote a rap for church and I did it for like White Sunday. And then after that, like as you listen to like the worldly music, bro, then I started to like get into writing other things. And then I knew it was like a go. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Have you always been like, because we know, obviously being in the studio with you a lot, man, like, you are probably one of the most talented writers we've ever worked with in terms of being in the studio. We're obviously creating a vibe, and you just jumping on a vibe or a concept straight away and just writing a whole track. Like I'm not talking like one verse, and we'll probably come back to it later. We're talking like whole tracks, multiple tracks coming out of a session. So how do you fuel that, man? Like how is it just like sort of you're picking it up from experiences that's happened in the past or things
it's
that
like,
might be
for me it's like it depends, bro, because I have like off days too. There's like days where I have like nothing, like, you know, when we rock up in the studio, bro, we go through like 3 different beats, and there's like times where I'll just go blank, but then there's times where it's like things just come naturally. And I think the best thing about or my favorite thing about writing is if it comes naturally and it comes fast enough, that's something that I should go with on the day. But if I'm like forcing myself to like write something, if it's not like generic or I feel like I'm forcing myself to like put something down, then I know when to just cut it.
So you're more of because I know we've had this discussion before. It's like you really like to be in the studio and creating. You don't like sort of taking something home or people sending you beats. Like you don't necessarily like that. That's not your first preference, which is weird. I find because like a lot of rappers that we've worked with, they're like send me beats, and you send like 5, 6.
And but like, see, I wish I could do that. Like, because that's a solid thing. I know. Remember you were telling me like rappers come and they have like 6 verses ready to go. And bro, I honestly think that's like that's on because if you have 6 verses ready to go. Then and if one's not working, another one's you have backup. You're not waste. I guess it's like it's whether you have the time to like sit down. Because I know a lot of artists don't want to waste time in the studio. Just writing stuff down.
And I've also found with you when we come in with you, you like to have like a vibe of a track. Like whether like let's talk about anything. Like
Yeah.
you'd like want to. Oh, I want to do an upbeat party
Yeah.
track. Let's go with
Yeah,
this. Let's
yeah.
go with this, and then we go along that track, and you've got the lyrics to just match.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the vibe
Yeah,
yeah,
of
yeah.
the track as well.
Because it's all like feelings. That's what
Yeah.
I mean about like being generic. Because if you make what you feel on the day, bro, nobody can like.
Yeah, you can't
Touch on
replicate
what-
it.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like and I think that's for us working with you. It's
Yeah.
really like broadened our ability to sort of produce anything.
Yeah.
Because obviously working with artists such as yourself, you're so diverse, and
Yeah.
like you can literally
Do anything.
okay, this is a classic example, classic MAZ. So you are working on a separate project other
Yeah.
than your own, and so I try to get here like nice and early, and
Yeah.
what I do is I like try to just make something real quick, just so when the boys come in, it's like there's something that they can hear and they can sort of listen to and sort of get into the vibe of either writing music or creating music. So I play it and it's like this sort of really up tempo like hip hop beat, and it's like hard, like a really hard grimy beat as well. And then Akmaz's like, yeah, this is dope. And he sits down and he looks at me, he's like, bro, do you reckon we could make a reggae track? I'm like, I was like, and I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, I feel like we should make a reggae track. And then funnily enough, that's when we came out with probably one of the best songs we've
Yeah,
ever made.
yours.
Yeah, yours. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's so yeah. So
Bro,
like,
it's like
yeah.
it's solid, but then it's not sometimes. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's like I don't know. I feel like I come here and we work on something and then it doesn't work. But remember, I was telling you before, I watched like studio session with big
yeah,
artists.
Yeah.
And I like noticed something like with them. I remember I told Jared when we first like said that we'll come 6 degrees that like these say like big artists like you see like Tory Lanez who's popping out or Travis Scott or something. Bro, they're in the studio like all the time.
Every day.
Yeah. Or anything to do with making music, they're doing it like
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Other than touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're bound to come up with like say we hear what was Tory Lanez's last song?
Oh, he was on that Chicks tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole EP.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the big one with the T-Pain.
Yeah. So imagine what he makes like all his throwaways. But I've heard some of his. You've heard some of his throwaways on his lives. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's just constantly making music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the things that he drops is like the best of what he has.
Yeah.
But then his throwaways are like solid.
Yeah.
So I figured if we're like constantly in here just making shit,
Yeah.
then
It's gonna
we're
happen.
bound to like pop
Yeah.
off on something.
I think I remembered you when obviously when now you started working at the barbers, which is dope.
Yeah.
So it's obviously kind of restricted your time in the studio.
Yeah.
But before then, man, we were hitting it pretty hard. we were going like 4 to 5 days in a row every week. Hey, there he is. There's the man in the barber seat. So yeah, we were going crazy with the with like being in the studio. And I remember that one day that we both messaged each other. I was sick, and then you messaged me like going, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit sick today," and then I was like, yeah. And then I sort of sat at home and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I'm just gonna chill out in the aircon and just sit there.
Yeah.
And then like literally like it came about 10 o'clock, and I'm pretty sure I'm like, nah, I just want to go. Like,
Yeah.
And then I remember I messaged you. I'm like, yeah, bro, let's just go to the studio. And then you were like, bro, I literally was thinking the same thing. It's like I just don't want to sit here and waste time.
Yeah.
It is one of those things.
Oh, and we came in here. And
We
were
literally
like,
came in here. I mean, I don't think we made anything like great, but it was still here because I think we
Yeah.
talked about like a lot of stuff as
Yeah.
well. So it's like,
It's
just
just
having
being in there, eh? It's
Yeah.
like
For sure, 100%.
because I know there's been days where, like even previous to this, where I've just been sitting in the studio, made something, and then it's like it's worked.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's worked for me.
What's like one of the main things that keeps you sort of focused, like on where you want to be?
Well, it's hard because like I feel like when it comes to like in terms of music, I haven't really been. I've only just started getting focused, like in the last 6 months.
Yeah, wow.
I think for like 2 years straight, I was off. Like,
Yeah.
but I think like with anything, if you want to keep your focus on something, it's like whether if you do you really want it? Like if you want it, then you
do
want
it.
it. If you
Yeah.
don't, then it's not gonna really like mean nothing to you if you're not doing it at the time. I think that was my problem
Yeah.
with music.
Yeah.
Like it got to a point where I didn't really want to like go far in it, so it didn't matter if it was just nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, oh, music's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Bro, and then it comes 2 years later, and bro, it's like everything's changed now.
Yeah.
Like I think our first sessions that we had, I told it was everybody that messaged me when we had our first studio session. They're like, "Oh, what are you working on?" I was like, "Bro, I'm just trying to catch my feet in the studio to begin with." I was like, "Freak."
Which I think is great because when you first started, you were trying some different things that you probably even wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Which I think now you're pretty confident. If we threw you anything, you'd be like,
Yeah.
sweet, I can do
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Sweet. And same and in reverse to us as well.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we might even premiere a song a bit later, like
Yeah.
just a bit of a snippet. But like, we made like a summer jam,
Yeah.
just before,
Yeah.
like, and we've
Very,
never done
very
anything
quickly.
like, never done anything like that before. So
Yeah, a lot of the new stuff that we've been working on. When me and Joe and Jared came, it was like we wanted like a whole different feel of like music.
Yeah.
Especially when we were starting.
So do you want to actually talk about that, like that sort of
hard.
I don't. I have you guys settled with a name yet?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
we
time-
haven't.
sorry.
We just started like a group about 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and it was just more so to bring like. So we got Jared. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
/ manager. Like this guy knows the in and outs of music. You got Joe, who's like killing it on the drums, like nonstop. But he wants to like do more, expand on that.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him. We were talking about it for a while. Where we'll start like a group.
Yeah.
Where we'll like just form everything together. And at that time, I wasn't recording or doing any type of music. So we met up for the first time and we were like, oh, what are we gonna do? Because, bro, to be honest, my thought was that I was gonna rap, Joe was gonna sing. Oh, Joe was gonna sing. Joe's gonna sing. Joe was gonna drum, and then Jared would DJ and manage.
Yeah.
But when we came into the group, we met up at the coffee club and we just like put in our ideas and we came up with this like idea of having a group just doing left field of what we know instead of like going with like the cliche music that we've always known. Just try to do something different. And then Joe put it like perfect. He's like, bro, we don't even need a set genre to do. Like whatever we come up with on the day,
Just
that's what
roll
we go
with
with.
it.
Yeah.
So we just started like having writing sessions, listening to new, and then we just like developed this love of festival music.
Yeah.
Because I know, bro, the only crowds that are like smashing right now is festivals. Like I watched that Stormzy. Remember that one that I showed you?
Oh yeah. It was at what was that? The one that Stormzy headlined? Glastonbury.
Yeah. When I watched that, I like, bro, no one like, the crowds just go off on that
energy.
Like, and I look at that, and even Joe, because Joe's been doing festivals every year.
Yeah.
See, look at that. Oh, that's
this is
Sons of
Jared.
Zion. Yeah.
Oh.
See, even look at that.
Yeah, true. What festival is this at?
I don't know.
Western Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's on, bro.
Yeah.
So dope.
It's so crazy. But yeah, obviously you guys stepping into writing songs to like that audience. Like how's it been translating, like when you guys have been in the studio sort of writing all that side of music? Has it been a good experience for you?
Yeah. It's like, cause you just start like realizing that what we knew was so small. Like like
that's huge.
I always knew that there was just more to music than what I liked.
Yeah.
What I did. But when you like start trying new things, you just realize that, frick, I knew so little about like.
That's crazy.
There's like so much shit that you can do. That if you don't like believe that you can do it, you just won't end up doing it at all. Bro, I would have never known if me and Joe didn't talk about it. I would have never known we could do like what we're doing, house music.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I love listening to it on the radio, but then we never thought to like go to the studio and start making songs or drops in it. Like,
exactly.
But when we play it, it like bangs, bro. It's like
and it's good because like I feel like it really encourages you, going like, listen, hey, I can literally do this as well. I can do this Like you just keep leveling up. I feel.
Yeah.
And which is always like a great thing as an artist. You gotta keep developing.
Yeah.
I think that's really good advice. Like especially for people trying to find their feet. Like I can just try everything.
Just do whatever you.
Just try everything.
Do whatever.
And you're definitely right. Like, did you at that stage coming into forming that group? Were you sort of over the rapping and just hip hop in general?
Yeah. I wasn't like over hip hop. It was just like, I don't know. It just wasn't. I just didn't think I would like enjoy just rapping all the time. Because I started singing a little bit like towards the end of like a lot of the stuff that I was writing. Because I've been writing for like the 2 years that I had off. I never stopped like having ideas and writing, and most of them were just melodies. And like when it came into this, I just didn't want to rap anymore. It was like I love it, but like I wanted to do something else. Like and Joe came in with some ideas, and I was just like, let's do that.
Do you feel that people sort of try to put you in a box, like you're just a rap? What's your response to them?
Nah, it's just I know I've heard like through the grapevine. But nah, they can try, like they can say I'm this and I'm that, but bro, I haven't even released. I think the last song
the music's gonna show, bro.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. Because I haven't released anything in like 2 years. Like I would honestly say, I'm probably the most inactive artist at the moment.
True.
Like, wow. But when it comes, that like they can say what they want.
Yeah.
And you know, this is what I said to you like a couple weeks ago. I remember someone put up a post like tag the top 3 rappers in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And literally like more than half of them were tagging you in there. And I looked at you and I'm like, gee, you're getting all these like tags and you haven't done anything in the last 2 years. That's crazy. Like you just have like you must just have like a really dedicated like fan group behind you, man, who obviously really believe in you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Nah, you definently do, man.
It'll show.
Yeah, it will definitely show. So, let's take a quick detour in this conversation. Let's I want to talk about like how like you growing up, just as a person and how you've sort of developed over time, man. So what was it like, obviously growing up at a young age? Like how was it for you?
It was solid. I was born in Utah. We moved to I spent my younger days in Utah.
Yeah, wow.
Then we moved. So from the States, we went to New Zealand, South Auckland, for a few years. I did like a bit of primary school in my first year in high school there. Yeah. And then we came here. This is where Brisbane was where I did most of my high schooling. But I grew up, my parents are pastors.
Oh, nice.
So since I was born, I was raised in the church.
Yeah.
And then, we moved around a lot, but every time we moved, we stayed put for like till the next stage that we're on.
Yeah.
But I like, we've always had like culture in our family, but then we didn't like. Yeah. So I grew up around, like I went to a Psalm 180G church for the first time when we moved here, but I was literally just raised in a multicultural church. Yeah. Got 2 brothers, 1 little sister.
Oh, nice.
But I was good growing up, especially like experiencing like different countries. So you have like America, and then there's like New Zealand.
That would have been hard as a kid.
Yeah. I was mad because it's like, it was cool because I met some good people on the way. Like I had friends in New Zealand, like good friends that I know till this day, and then I have friends from here, like that I know till this day. Like,
do you remember obviously the transition from Utah to Auckland? Like that would have been
crazy.
Huge culture shock, right?
Yeah, it was a bit different, but I think it was good because I didn't meet my first cousins until we moved to New Zealand. So I saw like my grandparents came over every now and then to the States, but I never met my first cousins until I was like,
yep.
And then but when I met them, we all lived in the same house, so there was like 12 kids.
Oh wow!
And then my grandparents, and then my parents. I think it was all boys too.
Oh wow! Yeah. So what was it like in that environment, man? With obviously a lot of arguments,
it was mad because it was like me and my brothers were like new. I can't remember how long we stayed there for, but I remember me and my brothers were like real close because my cousins that we moved in with were like a lot older than us,
Yeah.
and it was in like Panama, so Oahu.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
True.
So we like lived in this house. We were only just getting to know my older cousins, but they were in and out of the house anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we met my mom's side, like my first cousins on my mom's side, which like I got real close with those cousins as well. But it was mad to like, because growing up in Utah, it was just me and my brothers and people that we knew from church. Like, we didn't really have like
a family.
It was like either it was me and my brothers and my parents, or it was me and my brothers and a babysitter from church. Like,
oh, right.
We never really had like, we had like friends that were like same age as us, but it wasn't like when we moved to New Zealand, we just knew what it was like to have like your cousins live down the road and you can like
big family.
You can like go see them anytime you want. We never had that in Utah.
And like obviously having the family gatherings and stuff like that. Like
big cook-ups.
Christmas would have been awesome.
Big feed.
And then obviously coming from New Zealand to Brisbane.
Which
is
that was like
an interesting move.
Because that was, bro, I was so glad when we came here because Brisbane is probably the best place to, like, Australia in itself is the best place to live.
Definitely.
But I loved it when we moved here because I loved it in New Zealand, but when we came here, it was even better.
Did you feel like home?
Yeah.
This was home to you?
Nice.
Where'd you move to?
In Nala. So we stayed in Nala for 7 years.
So wow. Wait, is that where you when you moved over? That's when you met Amu?
Yeah. No, I met Amu in yeah, pretty much. I met Amu grade 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you met him, and that's when that friendship sort of happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nah, pretty much. I knew because Amu was going primary school because I started grade 7 in Forest Lake.
Yeah.
And I think it was like one of the first years that they had grade 7 there.
Yeah.
So it was only like 2 classes, and Amu was doing grade 7 in primary because that's how they do it. They did it. Like in primary and grade 7.
Yeah.
But he was going primary with my little brother.
Oh, okay.
So I like we knew each other.
Knew of. So I mean, obviously, unfortunately, Amu couldn't make it today, which was I mean, it would have been dope, and it wouldn't stick to have that story, those cool little conversations. But like,
I was excited to have him here.
Next time. But like, what when did you find out that he could rap, and when did he find out you could rap? Like, how did that sort of develop? Did you both write together, or was it like sort of you heard this guy could rap, or he could rap? Or,
I wish he was here because he could tell this. He would tell the exact same story. Like, so we were. I think it was grade 8. We were in the same class in grade 8, and because I was making music, and as soon as I moved here, I was making music.
Yeah.
And in grade 8, I met Amu was in my class. And I would like write raps in English class, and Amu would sit next to me. Bro, I don't even think he was spitting at that time. Like,
true.
But he could sing. Like, bro, Amu was a mad singer.
Really?
Amu was the guy with the guitar that was like jamming. There was a few other boys. Everybody was doing it, but Amu could like he could jam. Yeah. And I remember writing raps, and Amu would just watch me like, but he never like said that he spits like.
Maybe he was just stealing.
Because, bro, when he came out spitting, I was like, what? Like, Amu's the hot, like, bro, people don't know that Amu can spit. Yeah, he's one of the hottest spitters in Brisbane.
Yeah, I remember talking to some producer. I forget who it was, but we were out. And they were like, oh, do you know Amu with MC? I'm like, oh yeah, we've made a couple things with Amu. And he's like, oh bro, he's the hardest, the coldest MC in Brisbane. And I think like a lot of people just have mad respect for Amu because they were like, I wouldn't want to have any beef with Amu.
Because he actually like, bro, there's like you can rhyme, you can flow, and then there's like the wordplay rappers like. There's like, because I know a lot of the underground rappers hate the way that people are like rappers are doing music now. Because there's like no wordplay in it.
Yeah, no.
When you look at Amu was like back to back bars.
Oh yeah, like his flow,
got that old school flow about him, mate. Yeah.
And even his delivery is like really strong and confident.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the things that we've noticed. Obviously working.
It's real like mature, eh?
Yeah. And how old is he?
He's same age as me, 95, so 24.
24.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm so old. I'm 20. I'm not even gonna say how
All
old.
these young cats coming
Yeah, I
through.
know all these young guys. Nah, yeah, but Amu, and then obviously that's when you met Dub T as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Dub
nice.
T came from the States in. I think what grade was? We were grade.
Oh, that's right.
9.
Yeah, he was from the States as well.
Yeah, he came straight from California.
Is Amu?
Bro, when he got here,
Yeah,
it's like everybody was like, bro, there's this guy from the States.
true.
He came straight to Anala,
Yeah,
just pumping people, bro. Like,
He's just taking
bro,
people.
everybody was like, bro, there's this guy from Anala. But I knew because I was doing music with his cousins.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
but even the dudes that I started doing music with in Brisbane, I haven't heard any artist in Brisbane that can touch like those guys. Like you got Ice
Yeah.
and Enos,
Mm.
and I haven't heard like rappers who can touch those. And we were doing it in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right. So what do you think about like back then? Actually, we've talked to Gray about this.
Yeah.
Grayson Bain,
yeah.
and he was talking about back in the day, like it was very like I'm over here, you guys over there. Like
Yeah.
it was very separate, like in terms
Yeah.
of like the Brisbane scene, in terms of rapping, in terms of
Yeah.
hip hop. Was it like that when you went to school? Obviously, you guys had the Inala Forest Lake guys down there, and then was there any sort of beef with like the north side, or was that sort of non-existent back then? Were you just still just having fun, vibing?
Oh,
out?
people were like beef. It was more like when I was in high school, it was more like schools. Like
Oh,
if
okay,
your
yeah.
school was like, I don't know, some
Kebra?
just nah, it was too far.
yeah.
But I think like, yeah, if you knew somebody from another school and something went down,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, well, our school's gonna come there. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we were even fighting with people from like our own area in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Like Glenalla that was just 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
So
But it wasn't like,
yeah.
it wasn't like, oh, you're north side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, but like, I didn't even know what north side looked like when I was in high
Yeah,
school.
Yeah.
true. It was
Yeah.
all just about another Forest Lake.
Yeah,
Lake.
because
So you
that's,
didn't-
we were
where
basically
you're
in
from.
there and never left.
Where else did you
I
leave?
moved to Red Bank. I did a few years at Red Bank.
Mm.
Oh, no, not even a few years. I did like 2 terms Red Bank. But I lived in Red Bank for 3 years. Before
different
we-
vibe.
Nah, it was basically the same. I knew the same people because I was playing footy at Goodnow when I was in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
good nah.
Yeah.
Shout out Lissy.
Yeah.
Out in front of the good footy club.
So like we all knew, like I knew I was cool with everybody
Yeah.
from like Inala, Forest Lake, and Ipswich.
Yeah.
But then, I didn't know too much about. We would like fight other people from like other schools,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
really.
Yeah. It was just sort of just school.
Yeah, it's like
vibe.
Yeah.
kids, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just,
it was like
it was pretty
been
normal.
there
I
and
think it,
done.
Yeah,
I think
that's
yeah.
definitely normal.
Where we
Very
probably
normal.
think we were like at war, but
Yeah, no,
I
it's just
think
like
that was every school. growing
Yeah.
up.
yeah, like I remember back in the day, like because I went to school in New South Wales. So it was like
Yeah.
there was these 2 suburbs, Kingscliff and Cabarita.
Yeah.
Always have beef, but we all went to the same school. So it was like whenever it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this big fight, like Kingscliff versus Cabarita, and it'll always just be a 1-on-1. Like everyone be there, like like
Just cheering
spurring it
on.
on, but it's
Yeah.
like just a 1-on-1. It's like not like a all-in war.
it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's not like Endgame. Like
or like the UK, where
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
with the massive ass field and everybody just goes,
yeah.
Nah.
No, it's not.
Oh,
like that.
I've seen some of those.
yeah. Oh man, bro, I was literally I don't think I've ever been in a fight. Literally. So Adam, if we ever teed up that celebrity boxing match, I would be actually terrible at it.
Oh,
Oh, you and Bodie.
Oh no way. I don't want any smoke.
Bodie,
Don't
it's
want.
calling you out right now, bro.
No.
It's calling you out.
Nah, man. I literally, bro. Even back in the day, because like I was sort of like a bigger kid compared to other kids,
yeah.
and I would still be like scared whenever I watch a fight.
Friendly giant.
Oh,
mate.
bro, yeah, friendly giant. Yeah, I'll be hugging people everywhere. It's like, you
I was
okay?
always like, I was always the smallest,
True.
But I was never like scared, like.
yeah.
But I was always, yeah.
Has
I was
that,
always the smallest, getting smashed? Like,
Has that like translated like that attitude been like I'm not scared? So has that sort of translated over to you as an artist now?
yeah, hard, because, I'm never like. When I think about it, sometimes I feel like people might take it like, oh, he just doesn't want to act scared.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know, like, it's never. I'm never afraid to like try something or never afraid to like do something.
Yeah.
And the more people say don't do it, the more I'm
Yeah.
like, down to do it.
Yeah. I think that there's like obviously the fine line between having nerves, like excitement nerves, or even just being nervous and then scared.
Yeah.
Because like obviously, I actually this might be a good question for you too. Like, have you ever been nervous dropping music? Like, has that ever stopped you from putting out music in the past? No.
Nah,
okay,
never.
wow.
But I've been nervous like when it comes to like shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, I think I tell this to everybody. I was like the worst I had like the worst nerves that I've come across that I've met in the scene. Yeah.
Really?
In
Bro,
what way?
For shows.
Yeah, like I used to be
true.
like the only time I learned how to like engage with a crowd is when I started emceeing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yes.
before that, bro, I was never scared to go on stage, but I was always like nervous, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I know that I think it was Zai that like he pretty much like mentored me into performing, and he's one of the best performers I've ever like come across. And he said it best. He's like, bro, if you're nervous on stage and the crowd like can tell,
yeah.
You're gonna give that vibe off.
they're gonna like pull up from you. Like if you just show that you don't care, like you don't give a fuck about what anybody in the crowd's like doing, and they're gonna get this like confidence from you. They're gonna like it. Like,
Exactly. Yeah,
they might not like go smash and like bump to you, like have like waves and stuff, but they're definitely gonna like feel it.
Yeah.
Because I remember my first few times that I was performing, bro, I was like staring at the ground. Bro, it was the worst. Bro.
Really? So when did you start like performing in front of?
Because I didn't like eye contact, bro. You can say, like I used to wear like shades all the time.
True.
Because I know,
Yeah,
bro. I used to
true.
hate like, because I think one of my first shows with Zai was like we opened up for I think it was Jaru and Ashanti.
Whoa.
Just casually.
And but like it was like there was the crowd was massive, and I remember you would like have to look at people and they're like looking straight at you.
And you're
Yeah.
Yeah, like bro,
like, look at me
it's,
like that.
bro,
Yeah.
it's like so awkward. Like when
We get that a lot.
somebody like catches you and you're like, oh shit. Like,
Is he looking at me? Have you had any of those shows like that we played? That you'd like running on like, oh, I'm scared. Like I'm nervous. Like not scared. Sorry, nervous.
I think for me the most nervous I probably would have been one of the first times we played in the Met, and it was like after Paper Diamond. I always say this story.
Yeah.
I think that was the one time I was nervous because this legit was
Packed.
rammed.
That was after Iron Grind played.
Yeah, so it was like it was a rammed Met, and I think this is sort of when Trap was sort of
peaking.
Yeah. And I remember how we played like an edit, and it went into the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we played that, and literally it was one of the biggest crowd reactions.
Yeah.
It was like,
Remember he made us have a sip out of his What was he drinking?
he had this bottle.
Jim Beam? No, it wasn't Jim. No,
No,
was that. Someone was drinking Jim Beam all the time. But
Paper Diamond, he had like this bottle, and it was literally like it was like gold flakes in it. If anyone can, I don't know. What is
it
that?
wasn't like it wasn't vodka or anything.
Yeah,
what kind of flakes?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it made us have a drink out of it, and
Maybe that's
wasn't
why.
too bad from what I remember.
Starts
Like,
beaming.
Yeah, but maybe that's why I was sweating heaps. I was just real. Oh, hang on.
That it?
I don't know.
Goldwasser?
It could actually be that one.
Gold flakes.
Yeah, real
I think
weird.
that's
Sounds
from
like MBA.
Super Bad.
Oh, is it?
He was just smashing it
Like
straight out of the bottle though.
Bad.
Oh,
Did not care.
he didn't care at all.
Imagine if it was just flakes of MDA. You just
I think it'll be a lot more than
Yeah,
$69. So when so you were just talking about emceeing and obviously learning how to vibe with the crowd and then performing. Did you MC first then perform, or were you
I
performing?
was performing first. And then,
Really?
That's
interesting, man. I feel like you'd like to do a lot of things in like different orders. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah.
I was performing, and then I've been performing like my own songs since I was in high school.
Yeah.
I think our first show was like 5 people there.
Well, that's all good.
But like, I guess you got to start somewhere.
Gotta start exactly.
Yeah.
And when I started emceeing, Zai was actually emceeing in Gold Coast and Brisbane. So he was at the MC at Hot Gossip.
Oh, yeah.
And he told me come to every one of his gigs. So he picked me up, dropped me off home, and he just took me to every gig that he MC'd at. And I didn't even know they actually like MCs. I honestly thought it was just some guy on the mic that decides he wants to hop on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
like-
True.
Yeah, but I didn't know that it was like a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was doing it, and I like would watch him, bro, he's the man. I think a lot of people agree with this. He changed the game with like MCing.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
Because MCing was like hype, man, like just hyping the bro. He was like serenading the crowd, like
Yeah.
he made like, especially the transition of like the music that changed.
Yeah.
Like when R and bass came in, bro, he was like throwing harmonies on top of it.
Oh,
And
really?
I remember like, bro, it was like I remember watching him like, bro, this guy's performing every time
night.
he like,
every time
yeah.
he comes here.
Literally.
yeah. But then you meet like, you just watch him and everybody loves him. Like
Yeah.
he's interacting with the crowd like it's nothing. Like
Yeah.
he's a part of the crowd.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah,
yeah, there
bro,
he
he's
is.
the man.
I
bro.
feel like you've got to have that gift.
Oh,
eh?
you
Yeah.
do, man.
Literally, like
I
just
definitely couldn't do it.
yeah.
No way.
But like yeah, it takes a lot. Like definitely don't have the gift. I can yell random words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's fine because obviously doing a DJ set's like it's because people are there sort of for like the music in terms of like high drops
Yeah.
and mosh pits and
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
down
yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's a completely different crowd to an R&B crowd and a
Yeah.
hip hop crowd.
Yeah.
So that's why like me jumping in the mic is not really of a big deal. But if I did a hip hop crowd MC, I would be trash,
Yeah.
bro. I wouldn't know what to say.
and it puts on an American accent.
Oh, yeah.
When he starts to drink,
Yeah.
he starts to put an American accent. Like,
Yeah,
it's so
it
funny,
comes up
bro.
out
Bro,
now
because
and
I
again.
used to think like when I used to watch Zai, I used to think, what the fuck do you say?
Yeah.
He just kept coming up with
Yeah.
it, like, and
Like,
keeping this crowd entertained. Yeah.
yeah, especially like with the crowd not getting bored of you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then he would sing too, like,
Yeah, true.
and then he would like dance, and I would literally just watch him like, fuck, this guy's like
Yeah.
every weekend. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's going on it.
So literally, you pretty much learnt under Zion and sort of implicated that in your sets and stuff like that. And
Yeah, he was low key like showing me
What to
the
do,
ropes and what to
yeah.
do and
That's
like
awesome.
how to go. And then this one time, bro, I never MC'd ever, and I know he rang me. It was like a Saturday morning. I was in the coast, and he rang me, and he's like, because I feel like I was still learning at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Bro, he rang me and he's like, Maxwell's gonna give you a call, and you're gonna cover me at Hot Gossip, emceeing my set at Hot Gossip with Oscar. And I was like, yeah, hard. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm down. Thinking like dropping my nuts, but I was just like,
yeah.
because it's the club. Like,
Yeah.
I love that club. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you got up there and you did it.
Yeah, Maxwell called me and then I went there. Bro, I didn't know shit. Like, everything that I watched him do went out the window when I first got to the club. Like,
Yeah.
and, like, bro, I know other people can do it easily, but fuck, when I got up there, it was like, bro, I feel like every time I said something, there's someone there that's like, shut up. Straight up, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
every time I was like, put your hands up, bro. I hated doing that. I hated saying, put your hands up, and everybody's like, fuck, we don't want to put our fucking hands up. Like,
yeah. Don't tell
we're
me what to
fucking
do.
dancing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. Like, or you're like, wait for the drop, and everybody's like, what the fuck? It's an R&B club.
Yeah.
But nah, it was a matter. I think I caked it a few times. I did this like booty shaking contest there, and I fucked up. Yeah. but like I think it made me like want to come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect it.
And then I did it. I started emceeing at like Shooters, Magic City, and then I was emceeing a lot more than I was performing. But I think it was like giving me that confidence of getting on stage
Yeah.
and like being able to talk to a crowd and interact with a crowd.
Yeah.
Then I like developed like my own way of emceeing, my own sound.
Yeah.
And then it was just cool from there. But it was just basically like doing ad-libs. You know, in the studio, that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it's like doing there. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
the crowd likes it and
Yeah,
sometimes
you're
the
right.
crowd doesn't, bro. But fuck, it's gonna be like that everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool, man. So you've been lucky enough to sort of tour as well with some like pretty decent artists, man.
Yeah.
Like, who have you toured with in the past?
Well, we've opened up for heaps of artists out here. we did. Oh, I went around with what was it? Oh, that photo that you showed before. That was with like Jared,
Oh, nice.
Aradna, and that.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm.
That's dope.
We did the Men of R&B
Yep.
tour with Jay Holiday, Lloyd. That was actually my first show with Joe.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice.
bro, it's different with the live band days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you've actually performed with a live setting as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I did, bro. I did like I was doing that a lot with Zai,
Yeah.
the Hanlon Brothers. I did a lot of the big shows with the Hanlon Brothers and Zai,
Oh wow.
and it was more live music, bro. That's when I realized live music hits different. Like
Yeah,
for
oh,
sure.
yeah,
like
definitely.
outside of the clubs, like bro, when you're on like a stage with a band,
Yeah, you feel the
and
energy.
the whole crowd, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like completely different. I mean, nowadays obviously with the new age, you got it's just DJ, rapper, and maybe the rapper's hype man as well,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
But it's when you have a whole ensemble and you're chopping up songs,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
usual songs a little bit differently.
It's way,
Would've
bro.
been
The sounds
crazy.
better, bro. The crowd, like, they appreciated it a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do
100%.
that when like, around the first years of actually going around Australia. That's what I wanted to do was take a drummer and
Yeah.
because I grew up in the church doing that, like,
Yeah,
of course.
live music and like watching live music was my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of hard to like take myself or get them to book me, let alone say I'll book a drummer that I'm bringing as well. Like,
Yeah, of course.
Or book a
Exactly.
piano
Yeah.
player and another 4-piece.
Bro, you could just do the Anderson Paak and just drum and
Yeah,
rap at the same time. mate.
Hard.
He's
But,
he's
like,
a weapon.
That was like when I started doing that with Hanlon Brothers, Zai, Sovereign, Joe Malafu. We did the Men of R&B tour, and that was like with Eric Bellinger. That was like one of the
Damn.
maddest times there.
And that I think that's what I wanted. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
So, I remember you've told me like some really cool stories about him and a lot of stuff that you've learned from him. So, what did you learn from Eric?
He that night, bro, the maddest thing, I'll always tell this to everybody when I remember that time. Bro, he was legit outside. See that guy in the van?
Yeah.
It was just like pumping J's
Yeah,
off the
true.
back, bro. Like, and I remember he came out and was just casually like pumping one. And then this guy cause you know Max Watts, the doors like,
Oh, Max
once-
Watts.
Yeah.
once
yeah.
you open the doors, you go straight onto the stage.
Yeah.
And he was like outside the door. Bro, the door just flies open. The guy's like, oh, you're on. Bro, he just takes the mic. And I remember like, because I didn't want the door, because once the door closes, you
Yeah,
can't
locked,
open it
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, you
so
need
I
that
remember
thing,
I
yeah.
ran to like grab the door. And I just saw him go like straight from outside, straight onto the stage, like, and welcome himself. Like, be like, what's up, Brisbane? Like, from one motion.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck, this guy like does this shit back to the point
Yeah.
where it's like second nature.
Yeah.
And like, bro, before that show, I was sitting in the corner like, fuck, what am I gonna say when I get up there? Like, and this
Yeah.
guy's like, just
Give me the mic.
yeah, he's just
let's
like
go.
pumping one, and then the guy comes out, he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
grabs the
Yeah.
mic, goes straight in one motion, and when I saw that, I was like,
True.
that's
yeah.
like
This dude
true
knows what's
belief
up.
in yourself
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to the point where you don't like, you couldn't give a shit. You know you have it. Like, once you get up there, you're up there.
I also remember you telling me a story like about him that was it him that he would FaceTime his family every single time before he would perform? Was that him? or was
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's like a real big family man there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Dope.
I seen one of his lives, and just the way he is, bro. He's just FaceTimes his family. Like loves to like smoke. Doesn't really party that hard.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but he's like one of my favorite writers.
Yeah.
Him and who else was there? Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, of course.
But
yeah.
like Eric Bellinger was like one of my favorite people who, especially with like melodies and stuff. I always like
Yeah.
love the way he transitioned to.
See, I only knew him for like those remixes that he did. Was it him that he did the Chris Brown, or was that someone else I'm thinking of?
Which remix?
Nah, maybe I'm thinking of someone else then. Because I'm thinking
covers.
I'm thinking of
Vito.
Success with Vito. Yeah, I'm thinking of him.
yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Eric, my bad. But yeah, was gonna say like I didn't actually really know much of Eric Bellinger, but I remember when you showed me like
he's the one that did that. They ain't looking no.
Maybe. Oh, maybe, bro.
That was
Can-
like the,
do you remember this? Do you remember the name? I'm pretty sure Adam can tell.
I like sung it off key. You guys are like,
Can we check some auto tune on that?
you guys are like, what the fuck is that? I should have just said the fucking title of this song.
No, but I didn't realize he wrote for so many artists. Which
Yeah.
which obviously that would have been dope for you to sort
Yeah.
of to you know, just to be in that environment, be in his sort of presence and trying to soak up as much as you
Yeah.
can, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Do you reckon he's
Yeah.
like one of the probably the most famous person that you sort of toured with?
Yeah. Who else was there? I'm trying to think now.
Yeah.
Cause there was a point there where I was like getting so many open acts. Because I've opened up for him in Magic City before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And who else did there was a lot of times where I was just getting open acts like left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Did you do the YG show? Was that?
Yeah.
You did the
Yeah.
YG. Did you
Yeah.
go?
No, I didn't end up going. I was
Oh.
going to go, but I didn't end up going.
Yeah, true.
That would have been hype.
Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah.
And you also did another show too, like at Eaton Till. I forget who.
So there was Jaru and Ashanti, YG.
It was another big one, like a solid act. I forget. I remember you told me. I was
You
like,
did Ty. Yeah, you did Ty Dolla $ign.
we were supposed to.
Oh, true.
oh,
And we were supposed to do Tiger.
yeah. Was it
I
that
think it was
one?
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
obviously, obviously, there's. I reckon
Too
in that
many.
period, in that period, you probably
Yeah.
you would have done so many shows,
Yeah.
which is
It was, bro, it's so hard, because
Yeah.
I think, especially with like open acts, you know, I'm like acting like this big artist, but nah, like, especially with open acts, you see how the crowd like interacts with the actual artist that they come to see.
yeah.
And then, like, when I see that, I'm like, fuck, I want that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of like performing to a crowd and trying to like get them to
Yeah. You want it
engage
to
or like
come-
trying to like get them to, because there's like about 20 people out of like the whole place who be rapping my songs.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I remember sometimes I'll like focus on them, but then see like look into the crowd and then everybody's just like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're not like
Nah.
everybody thinks being an open act is
Yeah.
like this. It is a massive like thing to do and a massive experience, but at the same time, it's not. You're not like popping because you
No.
did an open
No.
act.
No.
No.
And I had to like, I knew that straight off the bat. My
Yeah.
first time that I did it, I was like, because bro, you finish your like doing your show,
Set, yeah.
Yeah.
and then you're off. You're in the crowd. Like
Yeah.
you're no better than anybody
Yeah.
that's in the
Exactly.
crowd. Like,
Yeah.
So I knew like every time I saw how the crowd like reacts to the actual artist,
Mm.
I thought, fuck, I need that.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine like,
So yeah, it's almost like stepping stones because you sort of whenever I see like open acts, you get to showcase their talent, obviously,
yeah,
and also like dropping a few tracks, like DJs dropping a few of their
Yeah.
own tracks and
Yeah.
seeing good reactions
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I feel like it's a good place to just to test
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
waters, especially with new music.
it's
so
mad. It's a mad like experience in,
Yeah,
in
100%.
terms of being able to perform in front of a crowd.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, especially when there's a massive crowd there. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling. Always.
Yeah, but I've always wanted a crowd that knows
Yeah. Everything
Like, I
that just
remember I
sing
watched
along.
that like Travis Scott
Oh,
thing.
man.
Oh.
Bro, the maddest thing about watching that Travis Scott thing was you know how you see his first show?
Yeah,
where he's
bro.
like,
Yeah.
there's no one
Yeah,
there.
it's just-
I remember that. Like I remember like
Yeah.
being
That.
like
In
that.
that
Yeah.
position, yeah.
And just watching him go from that to like what do you the
Nah,
next
yeah.
part, I was like, fuck. Like
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think every artist has to go through performing to 10 people. Like
100%.
100%,
just-
bro.
100%.
but like having people sing your songs like religiously at a gig,
Yeah.
fuck that. That's
That'd be the crazy.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hard, man. Hard. Well, you would just say something actually.
Before, so when you moved, I know you played a lot of footy too. So when you moved over to Australia, did you keep playing here?
Yeah, I played for Goodna. And then I was just getting into a lot of trouble in high school. So I was in and out of different like high schools. I got to Palm Beach. That was like the last year.
Palm Beach. They had mad beef with Keeper.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like obviously New South Wales schools we weren't really much, but that's when a lot of real stuff actually went down.
Yeah.
Like they had was the Palmy Army.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Palmy Army. I don't know what the Keeper Boys called themselves. Keeper Boys, I guess. But they would just
I never really knew much about like.
Was it like schools?
whole schools, like they would go all in.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially at like games and stuff too.
Yeah.
True.
And it was pretty brutal. I think when I was in like year 9, 10.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah,
because I got there in like grade 11. That was like my last chance of like high school.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. I remember you saying tell me the story that when you were playing footy and you were like you couldn't like it was your last straw.
Yeah,
and you were like,
because I did something, and I was like removed from the footy program.
Yeah,
and then I think I was like suspended from like school for like 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And I came back, and I was like on my last warning, and we were playing like Woodridge. That was like my first game, bro. And I remember like, cause I wasn't even that much of a thing in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Cause bro, they had like some solid players. Yeah. I was like at the bottom of the chain.
Yeah. You play with Jerome Hughes, hey?
Yeah, he was there.
Nice.
Yeah, he was in our program. There was Jerome Hughes. There was like Sam Cook, Jack Cook.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
I think they were at the Warrior.
Yeah.
Warriors or something.
And I remember you saying like in that game that your coach told you, the Woodridge game, you like the coach told you couldn't get into any fights or
yeah. He was like, if you show any like thing in this,
that's it.
We're like, but I felt like it was a setup,
for Woodridge.
Yeah. We'll chuck you starting.
There's always stuff going down when you're first in Woodridge.
Yeah, I remember I got tackled this one time, but the dude just like chucked one underneath it. I was like, oh shit. Stood up, played the ball. I was like, fuck, nah.
Can't do anything.
Yeah, it's all good.
Until like the third straw, bro, I was like, fuck this. I was like, go on.
If we're going out, I'm going down in glory. Nah, but that's crazy. And then I remember, did you also say that you were like temporarily signed with the Gold Coast Titans, like one of the?
Nah, I was just
on the development squad.
Yeah.
But that's still
my brother was though.
Oh, really? Yeah, actually, your brother still plays. He still plays for
He's
Burley.
at South he was at Burley, but he's at South at the moment.
Yeah.
So he was with the Titans 20s throughout high school.
Nice.
And then you had he went to where did he go after 20s? Oh, he went to because he was back and forth to the States. I think he was training with the World Cup team for Union.
That's right. Yeah.
And then he came back here. He was still with the Titans, and then he went to Super League. He played when Toronto Wolfpack started their first year.
True.
Imagine if it was there now with Sonny Bill.
I was the last time I was like, last week I was like, bro, imagine if you were still there till this day.
Yeah, that'd be
a playoff Sonny Bill.
Yeah,
that would have been crazy.
That would have been amazing. But man, shout out to your brother for making the World Cup.
Yeah,
the World Cup. That's a big deal.
That's
a huge deal.
Yeah, he was training with the World Cup team at like 16 for Union. Though.
Wow.
And then he went because he went to a Union school out here. Then he went back to Palm Beach and just stuck to league. And then he went hard for league.
Yeah.
Super League, came back, went to Burley. Now he's playing at South.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Still punching
crazy.
away.
Yeah. Still playing for the States though.
yeah. Still in the States. You gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it from where you're from.
Yeah.
Repping your area and whatnot. Actually, I just remembered. I remember we were talking before, obviously, about people like singing your lyrics and stuff like that. I remember you telling me that you had an experience when you were at FOMO. Did you go to FOMO? Like just in the crowd? And when they were transitioning some acts, did someone actually play like a song? Like
it was it wasn't FOMO. It was where was it? It was this festival and they played Beyonce.
Yeah. What was your reaction?
Bro, I don't even know. I don't even know who it was because who plays in
like the intermission. Like when they're changing acts. Sometimes I thought they just throw it over like a PA normally.
So would it just be?
It could be on someone's Spotify
like
list,
or just chord.
Just someone
plugging in.
I'm hitting him.
And
with
I remember because I was out. I was like, I was on.
Yeah.
And I remember when it played, I was like, no fucking way. Because I remember the next week, I went to Matt Noble and I was like, bro, can you remix this song to something like, whatever? I'll send you the acapella. And you just remix it to whatever you... And he did a drum and bass remix.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, fuck, imagine if they did that at that festival.
Yeah.
But I remember
I
can't remember what it was. I don't think it was FOMO. Or maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure you told me that it was FOMO.
I was probably
I remember the story. I'm pretty sure.
Because was it at... Was Post Malone was there, right? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, so Post Malone, did he just finish or was he just about to
it
start?
was like during the day.
Yeah.
But still.
It was because that's the one that SZA was on, eh?
Yeah. And they do the intermission when they change
it. So who would be playing that though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I actually have no idea.
You got any answers on this?
It's got to be the sound guy, right?
They sometimes have DJs, but it could be LJ. She plays for BBE a lot. Mickey, those sort of people. But I'm not sure if FOMO do have.
I don't think
DJs.
I don't think they'd have an intermission DJ. It didn't look when I went anyway.
Well, they don't necessarily bring him out, but they might just be someone.
Background.
Yeah, it could be someone just.
Because I remember when it went on, bro. I was like, holy shit.
Were you with the crew?
Nah,
It's like, I've had too many vodkas
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember people were like just walking around because it was a break time. Like, not even like a break. It was like there was no DJ on there. There was no artist. But I remember people were like just smoking, and I just wanted to rage and be like, "Fuck, yo, this is me." Like, But at the same time, I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
But inside, you're just like, it's all coming.
Holy shit! Yeah,
man, that's great. Actually, so let's since we've been talking about music, do you wanna it's straight onto it, man.
Oh, yo.
Do you wanna play like maybe a little clip of something that might be coming up? Actually, before let's have this conversation. But I mean, when do you think? Why did you write this song? So this song we've done with MAZ, and I'm just gonna put it out there. We've probably done about 30 songs with you in the past 4 months. Easily. So I mean, it's great that we're actually probably gonna release this maybe in the next couple of weeks. You reckon? So this is a song called "Summertime Love" (STL). So what were you feeling when you sort of came in the studio? What did you sort of want to recreate?
Because we've been chasing that like song for the sesh for like ages. But I think when we started doing, because what did we start with on this?
What did we start?
On that session. How did?
I think I don't know.
No, you started with the
chords.
The keys.
The chords.
And I went toilet. Remember, I went toilet and I came up. And I had this like hook, and it was like "Summertime Love." But I think I've had that in my head for ages.
You said that you wanted to do like a summary,
something for people to like, especially because it's hot now. And every time I'm watching my like a story on a Saturday, it's like people like going hard, like, just drinking like at the beach or like on a boat. And I was like, I think it's like house or tropical house that I'm like watching people bump to. So I remember I came and I was like, bro, we need to like make something like that's like just thumping, like but like not minor chords, like
happy.
Something that's like happy.
Keeping. I think that's a great thing that you always do. You always like to try and keep it uplifting.
Because it's like it just gives you. I think it's like important with the chord progression and the key because somebody was telling me something that music either makes you feel down or up.
Yes.
And it's depending on the chords that you use. I think it's like Post Malone's like one of the few artists that can make a song to like minor chords and make people feel it's like happy melodies over the top of it. So I think like the key to summer jams is like those like happy uplifting chords.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's give this a listen. I mean, hopefully. Actually, I reckon it could be out when this episode drops.
This week. Yeah,
hopefully.
We go from Monday nights till Sunday, babe.
It's got that like run on it there.
Baby, don't drop that shit. Baby, don't drop that shit right now, so. Baby, don't take that shit. Baby, don't take that shit right now. Come be my summertime lover. I'm glad we found each other.
Yeah, Bump say.
Just that.
Yeah.
My sunset lover. Kiss me and love me down when the sun sets. I wanna love you.
Yeah, this is the build there.
Love you for the rest of my days. I wanna love you for the rest of my days. In the summertime.
Yeah, it's just got that groove. We'll cut it. We'll hold it there. But that's something that we've been working on. Actually, literally, we did that in one session.
Yeah.
One session.
Yeah.
And
But it's been mad, like working with, especially working with you guys. Like, I feel like, I'm not that like easy to work with. Like I'm always like,
you know,
no. It's the worst thing, bro. I remember my brother was telling me when we were young. He's like, bro, you get the fuck out.
just leave.
He's like,
Bye.
bro. I'm like in 1 second. I'm like, bro, I like this.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes later, nah, fuck that, bro. Like, let's just change that.
But I think it's good. Like
it's because I like, fuck. I can't remember where I got this from, but somebody said that don't continue working on something. Fuck, what was it? It was like, don't continue working on something because of the time that you spent on it. If it's not working, it's not working.
Yeah.
Just don't like respect it just because we put this much time on this, so we need to continue working on it. Don't. I remember I told you, don't be afraid to like wipe that if it's not if it's not working.
And I mean, obviously, us being producers, if we've made something, like we can still keep it and sort of maybe recycle it for somewhere else. It could fit somewhere else. Obviously, it just doesn't fit for you as an artist.
And like, how many times have we like made something and then we've like, all right, now we'll go to something else, and then we listen to it like another session later, and we're like, oh,
let's work on that.
Let's go back.
Let's go with this. Like, if the vibe stops, just don't. There's no reason to force it. Just go to something fresh. Go to something fresh. Kane actually always tells us that.
He
always. Shout out.
Really should listen to him more.
Because I've learned like so many lessons of like studio sessions where I just force myself in trying to make something, and then finish it, and then go home, listen to it, and I'm like, fuck this.
What did I do that?
Like, especially like when you. Have you ever like stayed in the studio and then just listened to the same thing over and over again? Pumped it out, finished it, and then the next day you come back, listen to it, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yes. Yeah.
Plenty.
All the time.
Plenty.
It's like you come back with fresh ears and it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah. What's your advice to people who are just starting out in terms of being in the studio with a producer or just sort of creating music? What's your number one advice that you can give them?
Don't do it. Nah. Don't do it. Nah.
It's oversaturated. Just get out of the
You're
game.
gonna come in my lane. Don't.
Nah.
Do
you want me to recite? I'll recite one of the Mayday's lines.
Nah. I'm actually a humble guy. So don't take that home with you. Nah, but just don't be afraid to like try anything, or don't be afraid to like be yourself in like what you want to do. Because I feel like a lot of people today, like a lot of like younger artists, and these are like, I'm not saying like I'm this like I'm at the top of the chain or I'm this big. I'm just, from my experience of people that I've met that are younger and that are new to like recording. Yeah, I feel like some of them, or some that I've met, it's just a remake of the trend that they're in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's mad to know that there's some artists that are like part of the trend, but have their own like way of coming into it.
Yep.
And I feel like if you box yourself in to making music, or to box yourself into a certain sound and think that's where you belong, or that's as far as you go, and that's when you limit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're coming into like, if you're just starting, do everything that you like, that comes to your mind.
That's it.
Fuck, if people are saying like, oh, that's not you, then if you feel like it's you, then fuck it's you. Like,
fuck everyone else.
Like, don't like limit yourself, or don't listen to one thing and think, oh, if they're doing that, then I should just stay in my box and do that. Like, to anybody starting off doing music, try everything.
That's it.
Try any genre, anything that you're comfortable with. I don't believe that anybody should like stay in one genre if they want to expand. Like, there's rappers who don't want to like expand. But if you feel like you want to, if you've started doing like R&B and you want to do rap, do it. Like, there's no. But too many people are like making these rules where they're like, oh, he wants to sing now. It's like, fuck, of course he wants to sing now. Like, he's an artist. Like, you get to create. If it's not for you, it's for the next person. That's another thing with somebody starting out. Like, if one person hates your music, fuck, who cares? Like, if it's not for that person, it's for someone else.
There's always going to be people that hate your music. Gotta
Always.
remember that. Gotta remember that.
Yeah,
There's always going to be people critiquing everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But I feel
anything you do these days,
Yeah,
especially with
that's the
social
worst
media.
thing. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
hard.
And I feel like you're right, man. Like, as long as you personally are enjoying the journey and personally like loving everything that you're doing, I feel like that's all you really need.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, fame and stuff will come with it. You just gotta stick with your guns.
Yeah, I think that's like the best thing about once you crack it, it's like if you stay true to yourself, do like what you want to do, and you crack it, you don't have to change for nobody.
No.
Yeah, hard.
But if you're like constantly coming up to making music and like changing to suit other people's like perceptions of you, by the time you like think you should be cracking it, you've become this whole different like
hard.
Yeah.
because I've been at that point. Like I've made music to suit like everybody's like comments and suit everybody's personalities, and realize what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I listen to it and think that's another reason why I like a lot of the music that I've done, that I just listen to it and I think, fuck, I like what we're working on now.
Yeah.
That's like that's me.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell, bro. You
you can really tell.
You come naturally.
Every time we leave, it's like I feel like we've accomplished something.
Yeah.
There's like there's a real meeting, because we've always had like artists come in and it's sort of like a job.
Yeah.
They come in, you do that recording, you do that beat,
And then it's
then you
finished.
leave, you go home, and it's sort of like
Yeah.
you go home, how was day? Oh, it was okay. But it's
Yeah.
like every single time we sort of leave off with you, it's sort of like we came in and we had a purpose.
Yep.
We came in and we we wanted to do something and we accomplished it, and it was
'Cause
awesome.
I think we've done like two projects now,
Bro. I think we've almost done
only,
4.
That's only the tracks that we put on the project.
and it's the perfect time for like the music scene in Australia is like smashing.
Pop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Popping
Shout
hard.
out to everyone.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Like and so bro, thank you so much for coming on, man. I feel like we've had a great chat,
Yeah,
and it's
hard.
been
Shout
obviously.
out everything.
Let's we'll try and bring it back in like in a
for
later
sure.
date.
yeah.
But
when Amu comes back.
oh yeah. We'll get we'll bring you on, and then
Yeah.
we'll see who the best MC in Brisbane is. No.
Nah, it's him.
Nah,
It's him.
yeah.
It's
Well,
him.
is it really? No. So what's coming up for you, man? I mean, obviously, we're possibly going to have this track out at the end of the year with us.
Yep.
But then
Yeah.
for you, 2020 is going to be a huge year.
Yeah, so
for
we
you,
got
man.
some. We're gonna start planning video clips. Oh, we've already started. We just need to start filming. We got that like suicide awareness.
Oh,
track
wow.
coming out. Yeah,
So you're actually getting into it. You're announcing it.
Yeah,
That's nice.
nice.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what we're gonna open up with.
Yeah,
There's just
yeah.
like a lot of meaningful stuff that I want to like speak on and spread.
Yeah.
And then we have like the project with Joe Malafo and Jared Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be like straight just like festival bangers.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have like R&B songs, so there's like stuff coming out.
So obviously from your own like EP,
Yeah.
what can people expect? What's the little things that people can expect?
There's a lot of like rap in there.
Yeah.
There's like it's just me like just spitting, but whatever I felt on the day, whatever we like came up with. There's not like it's not like there's not a set what would you say?
Story.
Yeah.
What's that sound?
Or like-
Actually, I felt like the sounds are kind of similar in terms of
Yeah,
if
but
you
there's
listen-
not like a set
Like,
it's like
backgrounding to the EP. Like
yeah,
a
it's just
set,
whatever we
like-
felt on the day is what
Oh,
we
okay,
did.
yeah, all right,
Yeah,
all right,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it wasn't like a theme. This is
Yeah,
what it's
theme.
gonna
Oh, I
be.
get you.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it is.
yeah. No, it's
It's
good.
just- yeah. I haven't spat in like those songs that we've done. I haven't spat like that in a long time. So.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone needs to be prepared,
Maybe wait.
Yeah,
mentally
Just
prepared
wait.
for that,
Just wait.
because it's gonna be it's gonna cause a lot of people are gonna be like, where did this one come from?
It's like, nah.
As we said, man, thank you so much for coming in, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Nah, thank you
Make
for
sure you
having
guys follow him on Instagram. Can we roll up the
Yo.
Instagram? It is the Maserati. Actually, you were wanting to maybe announce something, maybe a name change, possibly.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be MAZ from now on.
Wow.
We're gonna let go of the Maserati. Like
So, yeah.
it's gonna be basic. Yeah.
so Maz, just Maz.
Just
Straight to the
simple.
point.
Straight to the
Yeah,
point. Straight to the point.
So is it still going to be? Do you reckon it will still be the same handle if he changes it?
So if you follow him now, when
Yes.
he changes
Yeah.
it, you'll still be following him.
Oh yeah, sweet.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go follow him on the
Follow
on
me, I'll follow
Instagram.
you back.
Yeah. The Maserati. And yeah, make sure you guys just get on it. Go send him some positive messages.
Yeah.
Actually, if you really want to, like, I'll give you guys a hint. I'll give you guys the plug. If you really want to find out what music this guy's doing, go tune on every Tuesday on his stories. He will always have a sneak peek up there ready for you. So,
Rituals.
is there anything else you want to shout out, man?
Nah.
Oh, wow. We got a hit. Bro, this is the funniest thing. Can you turn up the music, please?
Jack, ¿por qué estás frío? Jack, no contesta. Jack! Jack! Jack!
Bro, wait till the end. That's the best.
Oh, and yo.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
Rest in peace,
Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. I mean, today
sad day.
we lost a great one today. I mean, he was definitely on the way to being something really special. So and I think that's a great thing. Like, obviously, you coming up with a suicide awareness. I mean, I'm not too sure actually how he really died, but you coming out with the suicide awareness thing, just make sure, guys, look out for each other.
Yeah.
You know, message. I remember Minox put up a post. He's like, just go ring one of your homies.
Yeah, you always got someone to talk to.
Yeah, hard.
Just make sure you're there for people, you know?
Yeah.
It's always good. So, yeah, is there any last thing that you want to...
Nah, thank you for having me, bro.
That's all good, brother. Thank you for coming.
Sorry
Finally.
it took so long.
Yeah, no. I know you'll be back. You'll be back soon.
100%.
So make sure you go follow him on all platforms, guys, and also keep an eye out on some stuff that's coming up from this dude. Absolutely fire.
Peace.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Peace.